Good everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Bex, educational consultant. Thank you so much for watching my video, sharing my video, and giving my video a thumbs up. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the tips one can use and score very high in jamb. So the tips I'm going to give you, because most students are going to retake jamb 2025. You understand? Tips to score very high in 2025 jamb exam. So now we're going to give you tips you will know in government, CRK, economics, and other. Do you understand? So what are you going to do? I have told you about we have positive and negative and grouping. So you know this positive, number two, negative, and number three, grouping. Do you understand? Grouping. So now Jan will ask you some questions on positive, negative, and grouping. So how will this question go? When they ask you one of these is advantage of anything. Advantage is talking about positive. So you look at the option, you look at the what? Options. Check the positive values. That is the answer. But first of all, but sometimes Jam might mix it up. Do you understand? Jam will do what? Mix it up. So that is why you link the question with the options. Do you understand? You now take the question and link it with the option. Try to understand what Jam asks you. Understand what they do what? Ask. If you understand it, you now link it with the options and get the answer. Very important. Very what? Important. Sometimes they will ask you, one of these is a disadvantage of this. How can this happen? Factors this. Positive. Understand? Very important. You understand? So now, when we talk about grouping play a vital role in JAMB exam. When you group, you check the options, you group the positive ones. If the positive ones are option A, B, C are positives, then option D is only option D is negative. So the answer is what? D, because D is exceptional. Do you understand? So if A, B, C is negative and D is positive, the answer is what? D. That's what we mean by grouping. By what? Grouping. Understand this. Once you understand the question and the option, you get the answer. You understand? That's what we call positive, negative grouping. Understand the concept of the question. If you understand the concept of the question, you link it up with the options, you get the answer. Very, very paramount. I told my students to try everything possible to understand the concept, because the concept of that question will help you to get the answer. If you understand the concept, you link it up with options, it will help you to get the answer for our students. So now we're going to do a general overview on English. Do you understand? So we're done with this one. Grouping positive and negative, very important to know it. Let's go to comprehension. Comprehension means understanding. It means what? Understanding. So if you understood the passage, you will do well in the questions. But we told this, we advise the student, we advise our students not to go through the passage first. Do you understand? Because the passage might waste your time. Are you getting me? So what we do, you first of all scan the question and skim it in the options, in the comprehension, and get the answer. I advise students to do what? Scan the question. Scan mean lead the question. Scan the answers. Check it in the option, in the comprehension. You get it there. Once you get it, you do what? You analyze it and get the answer. So now listen. JAMB questions are based on JAMB comprehensions are based on paragraph. And what? Paragraph. I have told you what I mean by paragraph. Paragraph means points. Points. From the paragraph, you understood what the paragraph is all about, what the comprehension is all about. Do you understand? I have discussed this in my previous video, but we're just doing a general overview of exam on Friday, Saturday, and Monday. Do you understand? So the paragraph will give you a hint of what the passage is talking about. Paragraph is talking about point, 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 but all of them are talking about one thing. I use a student to describe this. The first paragraph is talking about how the student was preparing to go to school. Do you understand? The second paragraph is talking about the student is now in school. They gather for what? Morning assembly. The principal addressed the students. All of them do what? Go to their various classes. That is paragraph 3. Now they now come to their various class 6. They sit down. They organize their chair. They do what? Waiting for the teacher. The fourth paragraph is talking about the teacher came in, was teaching on the board. Some people were doing what? Pressing their phone. Some people were doing what? Listening to the teacher. After the set and done, the last paragraph of the conclusion, they dismiss and they do what? All of them go to their various destination. You understand? This is paragraph talking about points, but all these things are talking about what? One thing. They are talking about what? One thing, but they are different points. So then we ask the question based on what? Point. So what we do, you don't need to read the whole paragraph, because once you read the whole paragraph, you do what? You not be confused. You might get the whole questions, but because of time, you have only 2 hours. That's why we advise students to do what? Scanning and skimming. To do what? Scanning and skimming. Scan the question, scan the options, and skim it in the paragraph. You will get it. Once you get the paragraph, you'll tackle it and get the answer. From the first paragraph will give you a overview of what the comprehension is all about. You understand? From what I said here, you understood that this is talking about lifestyle of a student or school activities. You understand? So now, that's why we advise our students not to do what? Read the whole paragraph or the whole comprehension before answering the question. But first of all, scan and skim because of time. Scan and do what? Skim because of time. We also advise our students to do what? Always start with other subjects. Are you hearing me? English should be your last one. For instance, you are writing, a student is writing what? English, literature in English. This is a law student, CRX, and government. Do you understand? Now this is a science student. The person is writing English, biology, chemistry, and physics. Now this is a engineering student, English, maths, yeah, chem, and physics. So what we do, we have advised our students to start with this, and go to English at the last one. Start with this, and English will be the last one. This, English will be the last one. Except you are exceptional. You are very, very good in English. That's why you will start with English, because English might waste your time. Remember, we have 2 hours for the whole questions. Are you hearing me? Very, very important to know this. They are very, very important. Very, very important to know this. Start with this before this. It will help you in the exam. Very, very paramount to know this. Once you are this, once you are in the exam hall, jam question, you need to think before you answer. And you need to think very fast. You need to do what? Think very fast. The question, most of the questions are not direct. So you need to sit down, analyze it, link it with the options. I used to tell you this every day. Understand the question, link it with the options, you get the answer. Both art and science. Very paramount. Thanks for watching.